Have you ever wondered why, no matter how much love you carry in your heart, you still find yourself walking through life alone? Why friendships fade without reason and relationships slip away like sand between your fingers? It feels as if an invisible hand pushes people away, leaving you in the silence of your own thoughts. Imagine this: a single candle burning in the middle of a dark room. The flame doesn't move. It doesn't chase anyone, yet everything in the shadows is suddenly revealed. The walls, the corners, even the dust in the air become visible. Now think of yourself as that candle. Your presence alone exposes what others try to keep hidden. And when people sense that their masks are slipping, many will choose to step back rather than let you see who they truly are. This is not a punishment, it is the mark of being chosen. Those who carry light in their soul carry a responsibility that most cannot understand. The brighter you shine, the more uncomfortable the darkness becomes. And because of that, many people retreat, not because you are unworthy of love, but because your energy speaks a language they are not ready to hear. But here lies the mystery. Your solitude is not meaningless. It holds a message, a hidden pattern, a divine reason. The truth is that chosen ones are not meant to fit into every crowd or every relationship. They are set apart, guided by forces that shape their path for something greater. And yet, beneath the loneliness, there is a secret that explains why your soul vibrates differently, why connections feel rare and fleeting, and why the universe seems to shield you from bonds that others take for granted. The question is not why are you alone? The real question is, what does this sacred solitude reveal about your destiny? There are moments when life feels almost ordinary: work, conversations, traffic, the silent rhythm of daily tasks. And yet, in the middle of this routine, something strange keeps tapping on your soul. You wake up at 3:33 in the morning and cannot explain why. You notice the same number repeating itself on receipts, license plates, and clocks. At first, you tell yourself it's nothing, just coincidence. But deep down, you feel the whisper of a message you can't quite translate. Other times, it's in your dreams. A face you don't know appears again and again. A place you've never visited feels familiar, as if you've walked there before. The dream fades when the morning light comes, but the emotion it left inside you lingers, like an echo of something greater trying to break through. And then, there are the physical signs. The sudden weight on your chest when you enter a room filled with tension. The unexplainable chills running down your spine when you meet certain people. The deep sense of calm that washes over you without reason, like a silent reassurance that you are not as alone as you think. For chosen ones, these moments aren't random. They are the universe speaking in a secret dialect, a language older than words. A chosen soul can walk into a space and feel the unspoken heaviness of someone else's grief. They can sense lies without hearing them, betrayal without seeing it. Their spirit translates what others miss. That is why, so often, they cannot stay blind to what surrounds them. But here lies the struggle. When you see too much, when you feel too deeply, when your perception cuts through the illusions of this world, people pull away. Friends label you too intense. Partners feel you are too much. Family dismisses your sensitivity as exaggeration. You begin to wonder if something is wrong with you. Why can't you just live like everyone else, ignoring the patterns, dismissing the signs? Why does every silence carry meaning, every number a code, every encounter a vibration that stirs your spirit? This is the hidden burden of the chosen. Their daily life becomes a battlefield between what the world shows and what their soul knows. And the greater their awareness, the heavier the isolation feels. You sense that your very existence interrupts the comfortable lies people tell themselves. That's why their laughter sometimes feels hollow, their conversations shallow, their company draining. And yet, even in this pain, you cannot deny the mystery. Because when you pay attention, you see how the pieces connect. The numbers that repeat themselves align with decisions you were about to make. The dreams carry warnings you later confirm. The sudden urge to change direction keeps you safe from harm you never saw coming. It's as if the universe has placed invisible markers along your path, guiding you with a compass only you can read. And though you often wish the signs would stop, so you could rest, so you could be normal, you also know they are proof of something extraordinary. You are being watched, guided, prepared. Still, this knowledge does not erase the ache of loneliness. When you lie awake at night, staring at the ceiling, questions burn inside you. Why me? Why do I feel everything so strongly? Why can't I connect the way others do? You long for someone who understands, someone who speaks the same hidden language. But until that soul appears, you remain walking between two worlds, one ordinary, one mystical, belonging fully to neither. And perhaps the real question is this: if all these signs are not coincidences, if they form a map only the chosen can see, what secret destination are they pointing you toward? There is one sign that chosen ones encounter more than any other. It appears in places so common that the unawakened dismiss it without a second thought. Yet to those with eyes to see, it is a message carved into the very fabric of reality. I am speaking of the mystery of repetition. Numbers, patterns, cycles, these are not random. The universe speaks through repetition because it knows that the human mind cannot easily ignore what appears again and again. Have you noticed how the number 1111 seems to appear when your thoughts are most restless? Or how you see the same sequence, 222, 333, 444, at the very moment you are questioning your next step? This is not mathematics alone, it is the language of alignment. Ancient mystics believed numbers carried vibrations, each one opening a doorway into divine truth. In the Bible, numbers are never accidental. 40 days in the desert, 7 trumpets of revelation, 12 tribes of Israel. Each figure is a symbol, a rhythm through which the divine communicates. When you see repeating numbers, it is not simply your eyes catching coincidence, it is your spirit being invited into a conversation. Let me give you an example. Imagine a woman struggling with a decision, whether to leave a draining relationship. Every day, as she wrestles with her doubt, she glances at the clock and sees 3:33. She ignores it at first, dismisses it the second time, but by the third, she cannot deny it. That night, she dreams of walking on a narrow bridge lit by 3 lanterns. The next morning, she wakes with clarity. The number 3 has followed her like a sacred echo. For her, it becomes a confirmation. The time has come to choose peace over bondage. For the chosen, such signs appear constantly because their lives are not ordinary journeys. You are not here to drift with the current. You are here to align with a greater design. And when your vibration rises, the universe marks your path with symbols, ensuring you do not mistake chance for destiny. But numbers are not the only repetition. Some of you have noticed that the same faces appear in your dreams, strangers who feel like family, or the same lessons repeat in your life: broken trust, sudden betrayal, recurring conflict. These loops are not punishment, they are initiation. The universe will replay a lesson until the chosen one learns to see it with new eyes. And here lies the hidden truth. Repetition is the divine's way of carving strength into the soul. Just as waves sculpt stone over centuries, repeated experiences carve wisdom into your spirit. Each time the pattern returns, it asks, will you react the same way, or will you rise higher this time? This is why chosen ones often feel exhausted by cycles that never seem to end, because they are being refined, polished, prepared. Even the prophets face this. Think of Moses, who returned again and again before Pharaoh, repeating the same demand: let my people go. The repetition was not for Pharaoh's sake alone. It was also shaping Moses into a leader strong enough to bear the weight of a nation. Repetition is revelation disguised as routine. So when you see numbers repeating, when experiences cycle back, when faces return in visions, know this: you are not losing your mind, you are reading the hidden script of your destiny. The chosen cannot ignore these signs, for they are reminders that their life is written in a higher ink. And what does this mean for your loneliness? It means you are not abandoned, you are being tutored. Every repeated number, every repeated pain, every repeated dream is proof that you are not drifting aimlessly. You are being guided, you are being prepared. And though others may laugh it off, deep inside, you know these signs are too precise, too intimate to be chance. Now pause with me for a moment. If this message resonates with you, if you too have seen these repeating signs that refuse to be ignored, consider joining this community. Subscribe, leave your mark, and let this circle of chosen souls become a place where hidden truths are not ridiculed, but embraced. Your like, your presence here is not just support for a video, it is a declaration that you belong to a community that understands what the world dismisses. But repetition is only the first layer. There is another secret, hidden in plain sight, that explains why chosen ones walk a path of solitude, a sign that goes deeper than numbers, reaching into the very wounds of your heart. And once you uncover it, you will never see your isolation the same way again. There was once a man named Daniel. To the outside world, his life looked perfectly ordinary. He worked long hours in a small office, commuted on crowded trains, and lived in a modest apartment where the silence at night often pressed heavier than the noise of the city. To his friends, he was reliable, quiet, responsible. But inside, Daniel carried a question that never left him. Why do I feel so different, so separate, even when I'm surrounded by people? It began subtly, with numbers. At first, he noticed 1111 flashing on his phone when he stayed late at work. Then it appeared on train tickets, street signs, receipts. Each time, his chest tightened, as though someone unseen had whispered his name. He laughed it off until one winter night, when he found himself awake at 3:33 a.m., staring at the ceiling, feeling as if someone were standing at the foot of his bed. He wasn't afraid, but the silence was charged, alive, like the air before a storm. The next morning, he walked to work as snow fell lightly over the city. He stopped at a cafe to warm his hands, and there on the table where he sat, carved into the wood, were the numbers, 333. His heart pounded. What are the chances? It was too precise, too insistent. That night he wrote in his journal for the first time in years, "If there's a message here, I want to hear it. Show me what it means." Days later, the dreams began. He saw himself standing on a bridge that stretched across a vast, dark river. The bridge swayed under his feet, but in the distance 3 lanterns glowed, lighting the path just enough to keep moving. When he awoke, tears blurred his vision, though he couldn't explain why. It was only later, reflecting in silence, that he realized. The lanterns were the same as the number 3 that had been following him. They were guiding him forward, step by step, through uncertainty. The more he paid attention, the more his reality shifted. In conversations, he began to sense the unspoken. When co-workers lied, his body felt heavy. When strangers carried hidden grief, his chest ached. His sensitivity grew so sharp that being in crowded rooms left him drained, as though every face was a mask he could see through. One evening, walking home, he passed an old church he had never noticed before. The door was ajar. He hesitated, then stepped inside. Candles flickered along the walls, their wax dripping slowly like tears. The air was cool, yet warm with a presence he couldn't name. For the first time in years, Daniel dropped to his knees, not in ritual, but in surrender. "If I am truly chosen," he whispered, "then teach me how to bear this light." It wasn't thunder or visions that answered him. It was a stillness deeper than silence, a peace that filled his bones. In that moment, Daniel understood. The signs had not come to torment him, but to awaken him. His loneliness wasn't rejection, it was protection, keeping away those who could not honor his light. From that night forward, Daniel no longer looked at the numbers with fear. Each time 333 appeared, he smiled, knowing it was not a coincidence, but a reminder. You are guided, you are seen, you are never walking alone. His journey of solitude transformed into a pilgrimage of purpose. And Daniel's story is not his alone. Many of you watching this right now have felt the same. You've had dreams that shook you awake, numbers that chased you through your days, sensations you couldn't explain. You've questioned your sanity, wondered why you were so different, so sensitive, so apart. But what if your experiences are not accidents? What if they are the same lanterns that once guided Daniel, signs meant to lead you across your own bridge toward your true destiny? I want to hear your story. Have you ever noticed repeating numbers, dreams that felt too real, or a presence that seemed to guide you? Share it in the comments. I read them, and in future videos, I may share your testimony so that others can see they are not alone. Together, we form a living map of signs, a community of chosen souls awakening to their calling. But Daniel's awakening was only the beginning. Because once you start to listen to the signs, the universe doesn't grow quieter, it speaks louder. And what it reveals next is not just confirmation of your path, but a technique to protect your energy and unlock the deeper purpose of your solitude. If numbers are the first whisper of the universe, dreams are the second. They are not simply the flickering of neurons, nor random stories stitched together by a tired brain. For the chosen, dreams are portals, bridges between the seen and unseen, a hidden classroom where the soul receives lessons no human teacher could ever give. Think back for a moment. How many times have you woken from a dream with your heart racing, the images still burning in your mind as if carved into your skin? Sometimes the dream feels like nonsense, but the emotion lingers longer than the memory itself. Other times, it is so vivid that the colors, the voices, even the scent of the air stays with you for days. That is not the residue of sleep. That is the second great sign. Throughout history, the divine has used dreams to speak to the chosen. In the Bible, Joseph interpreted Pharaoh's dreams, and by doing so, saved nations from famine. Jacob saw a ladder stretching from earth to heaven, angels ascending and descending, showing him that his path was not abandoned, but guided. Daniel received visions in the night that revealed kingdoms yet to rise. Again and again, the message is clear. The night belongs to revelation. For chosen ones today, this truth is no different. Dreams become messages coded in symbols, and if you have the courage to pay attention, they begin to unveil the hidden map of your destiny. But here is the problem. Most people wake up and dismiss them before their feet even touch the floor. They grab their phones, check their schedules, and the dream dissolves like mist in the morning sun. So how can you catch these messages before they slip away? Here is a simple, powerful technique. Prepare before sleep. Before closing your eyes, place your hand on your chest and whisper, "If there is a message for me tonight, let me remember." This small act of intention opens the channel. Keep a notebook by your bed. The moment you wake, before you check the time, before you move too much, write down anything you recall. Even fragments, even a single word. Do not judge it. Trust that meaning will emerge later. Search for symbols, not stories. Dreams rarely unfold in literal ways. If you dream of water, ask yourself, was it calm or violent? If you dream of a door, was it open or locked? Each symbol carries vibration. Water may speak of emotion, doors of opportunity or resistance. Notice repetition. Just like numbers, dreams that repeat are urgent. If the same place, person, or symbol returns again and again, it is no coincidence. It is instruction. By practicing this, you begin to see your nights not as empty sleep, but as sacred dialogue. And soon, something extraordinary happens. You will notice that your dreams align with your waking signs. The number 333 in your day will connect to the 3 lanterns in your dream. The person who appeared in your vision will suddenly cross your path in real life. What seemed separate begins to weave together into one fabric of meaning. This is the second great secret of the chosen. Your life is not random. Every night, your soul receives updates from the divine. Every symbol is a note in the song of your purpose, and the more you listen, the less lonely you feel, because you realize you are never without guidance. Do not fear if your dreams confuse you. Do not think you are unworthy if you forget them. Even the fragments carry light. Every attempt you make to pay attention is like striking flint against stone. It sparks awareness. And in time, those sparks will ignite into a fire of clarity. So tonight, before you fall asleep, whisper your invitation. Ask for guidance. Promise yourself you will write it down. Treat the night not as escape, but as initiation. You may be surprised at how quickly the language of your soul begins to unfold. But I must warn you, dreams are only the second veil. Beyond them lies a sign even deeper, one that almost no one talks about openly. It is not written in numbers, nor painted in visions, but felt in the core of your very being. It is the most intimate secret of the chosen, and when you uncover it, you will never see your solitude the same way again. There is a sign deeper than numbers, beyond dreams, greater than visions. It cannot be seen on clocks or written in symbols. It is not whispered by angels in the night. It is felt in the marrow of your bones, in the silent chambers of your heart, in the very vibration of your being. This is the third and most sacred secret of the chosen, the resonance of the soul. You have felt it before. That moment when you enter a room and, without a word, you know the atmosphere is heavy, that someone is hiding pain behind a smile. Or when you meet a stranger and feel a spark of recognition, as though you have known them across lifetimes. Sometimes it comes as a sudden wave of peace washing over you when there is no reason to feel calm. Other times, it is the tightening of your chest, the sense of urgency that makes no sense to the mind, but every sense to the spirit. This inner compass is the most powerful sign because it cannot be faked, silenced, or denied. Numbers can be dismissed as coincidence. Dreams can be forgotten. But the resonance of the soul is undeniable. It is the divine frequency vibrating through your spirit, reminding you that you are not flesh alone. You are eternal light, clothed in temporary form. The ancients spoke of this. In Christian mysticism, it was called the still small voice that Elijah heard, not in the fire nor in the storm, but in the silence. In the Psalms, David wrote, "Deep calls to deep," describing the unexplainable resonance between the human soul and the eternal God. Even modern physics whispers the same truth. Everything vibrates, every particle sings. The universe itself is a vast symphony of frequencies, and chosen ones are instruments tuned to the higher octaves. This is why your loneliness feels unbearable at times, because you cannot resonate with noise that is out of tune. Shallow conversations leave you empty. Superficial relationships ring hollow. Even gatherings filled with laughter can feel deafening, because your soul longs for harmony, not noise. You are waiting for the rare vibration that matches your own, the resonance that says, here is someone who hears the same music as you. And yet, this sensitivity is not a curse. It is your calling. You are a tuning fork in a world out of balance. Your presence reveals dissonance. Your silence exposes falsehood. Your very heartbeat carries frequencies that shift rooms, even when you speak no words. That is why some people flee from you, because your resonance forces them to face the static inside themselves. It is here, in the center of this revelation, that I must pause and speak heart to heart. This message, these words, this entire work, it is not made for profit. It is born out of passion, devotion, and love for souls like yours who walk this lonely, radiant path. If these truths awaken something within you, I invite you now, subscribe to this channel, give a like to this video. Not because of algorithms, not because of numbers, but because every action strengthens this community of chosen ones. Each subscription is not just a click, it is a declaration that you belong to a circle of light, a family of seekers who refuse to live blind. Now listen closely. The resonance of the soul is not only proof that you are chosen, it is also the preparation for what comes next. For within your loneliness lies not only guidance, but prophecy. The signs you carry in your heart point to a greater unveiling, one that transcends personal pain and reveals the collective destiny of all chosen ones. Because one day, the vibration within you will meet its echo in the world outside. The light you feel burning alone will ignite in others, and together the frequencies will merge into a sound the world cannot ignore. And when that moment comes, your solitude will no longer be a burden, but the seed of a revelation destined to transform history itself. The question is, will you be ready when your inner resonance collides with the great unveiling? You have walked with me through the mysteries of solitude, through the whispers of numbers, through the language of dreams, and into the resonance of the soul itself. Now, as the path bends toward its close, one truth shines brighter than all the rest. Your loneliness has never been a punishment. It has always been a calling. Every sign you've experienced, whether on a clock glowing 11:11 in a dream that refused to fade, or in that deep vibration within your chest, has been a divine summons. A knock on the door of your awareness, a reminder that you are not drifting blindly through the chaos of life, but walking a path designed with sacred intention. Think of it. The same energy that spun galaxies into motion is the energy that placed those signs along your journey. You were never abandoned. You were never forgotten. Even in the hours when you cried alone, believing no one could hear you, the universe was whispering through the patterns, guiding you through shadows, shaping you for something greater. And what is that greater purpose? It is not merely survival. It is not simply waiting for the loneliness to end. No, the purpose is awakening. The chosen ones are scattered across the earth like hidden lanterns. Alone, each flame feels fragile, flickering in the winds of doubt. But together, when these lights are recognized, when they stand without fear, they become a fire that darkness cannot quench. This is why you see what others do not. This is why you feel what others ignore. Your sensitivity, your solitude, your strange experiences, they are not flaws. They are the evidence of your awakening. They are the proof that you are part of something larger than yourself. And now, the choice is yours. Will you continue to walk with your head bowed, apologizing for the light you carry, or will you rise and accept the mission carved into your soul? Because make no mistake, the world is aching for the light of the chosen. It is hungry for authenticity, starving for truth, desperate for hope, and you were born to deliver it. So here is my invitation. If this message has spoken to you, if you recognize yourself in these signs, then step into this community with courage. Subscribe to this channel, not as a number, but as a declaration that you are part of a circle of seekers who refuse to remain asleep. Like this video, so that its flame can spread to others searching in the dark. And most of all, leave a comment with your name and your city. Let your presence be known, and in the next video, I will greet you personally. Imagine it. A wave of chosen ones, calling each other by name, city after city, soul after soul, weaving together a living tapestry of light. Because this is not just a channel, It is not just content, it is a gathering place for those who sense there is more, for those who refuse to believe they were created just to suffer and fade. This is our community, a sanctuary where your experiences are honored, your signs are validated, and your soul is reminded of its mission. And as you step forward, remember this: the signs that led you here will not stop. In fact, they are only the beginning. For every number, every dream, every vibration is a fragment of a far greater revelation, one that is coming soon, one that will not only confirm your path, but transform the way you see everything. So take heart, stand tall. You are chosen, you are guided, and you are needed, and the story unfolding in your life is not yet finished.